Hi buddies, hope you're doing fine. In this series, we will discuss about the important questions from the modern age. If you are ready, let's get started. Bernard Shaw's plays are mainly problem plays. The phrase Don Juan in Hell appears in Man and Superman. The play in which Shaw presents the idea of life force is Man and Superman, in which play Galsworthy deals with industry relations, strife. Isabel Archer figures in Henry James, The Portrait of a Lady. Lambert Stretcher figures in James, The Ambassadors. Which novel is not titled after its hero? Tono Bungay. The author of Human Bondage, The Moon and Sixpence, and Cakes and All is Somerset Maugham. The phrase things fall apart appears in W.B. Yeats' The Second Coming. The term absurd was derived from Albert Camus, who first used the term the theatre of the absurd. Martin Esslin. Kingsley Amis is associated with realism. Amis' Lucky Jim is an example of campus novel. The Theatre of the Absurd was published in the year 1961. Peter Ackroyd is a novelist and biographer. Alienation effect is associated with the plays of Brecht. John Osborne's Look Back in Anger was published in the year 1956. The anti-hero Jimmy Porter figures in Osborne's Look Back in Anger. George Orwell's Animal Farm satirizes Stalin's Russia. The novel Animal Farm is in the form of a fable. Arnold Bennett's novels are mostly set in portraits. Stalin and Trotsky are represented in Animal Farm by Napoleon and Snowball. Animal Farm was originally rejected for publication by Eliot. W. H. Auden wrote the plays The Dog Beneath the Skin and The Ascent to F6 in collaboration with Christopher Isherwood. The Spanish Civil War started in the year 1937. The Age of Anxiety was written by W. H. Auden. How Can We Know the Dancer from the Dance is a poem by Shaw. Beckett's More Breaks Than Kicks is a collection of stories. The last novel of Virginia Woolf is Between the Acts. Beckett's Waiting for Godot was first produced in English in the year 1955. Aldous Huxley's The Brave New World is dystopia. The central character of Edward Bond's play Bingo is Shakespeare. Brave New World was published in the year 1932. James Joyce's Ulysses was published in the year 1922. Eliot's The Wasteland was published in the year 1922. Conrad's major political novels Nostromo and Under Western Eyes. The author of The Napoleon of Nothing and The Man Who Was Thursday is G.K. Chesterton. Gissing belongs to the tradition of realism. Conrad's novel dealing with the Russian revolutionaries in Switzerland is Under Western Eyes. Anthony Powell's A Dance to the Music of Time is a sequence of 12 novels. Bernard Marx, Melholtz, Austen and Mustafa Mon appear in Brave New World. Yeats' The Celtic Twilight is a collection of stories and folklores. The characters Sir Henry Harcourt, Relly Lavia, Celia and Edward figure in Eliot's play The Cocktail Party. Eliot's The Cocktail Party is based on the Alcestis of Euripides. The New Grub Street deals with the London literary life. Queen Victoria died in the year 1901. Joyce, A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man was published in the year 1916. Joseph Conrad's first novel is Almayer's Folly. The author of the 1914 sonnets is Brooke. For Maddox Ford's novel The Good Soldier was published in the year 1915. The sonnet If I Should Die, Think Only This of Me was written by the war poet Rupert Brooke. Ursula Brangwyn and Gudbrand Brangwyn figure in Lawrence, The Rainbow and Women in Love. Virginia Woolf's first novel, The Voyage Out, was published in the year 1915. The last novel of Conrad is The Rover. Strange Meeting is a poem by the war poet Owen. Break of Day in the Trenches is a poem by Rosenberg. First is Howard's End shows English society. Ezra Pound was greatly influenced by ancient Chinese philosophy. His school of Imagist poets was set up in 1912 by Ezra Pound. The death of King Edward and the accession of George V happened in the year 1910. F.T. Marinetti led the Italian avant-garde movement known as Futurism. The anthology of poetry called De Imagistes was brought out by Ezra Pound. The phrase the horror is taken from Heart of Darkness. Orwell's Homage to Catalonia is a collection of stories. Hopkins' Peace and Pied Beauty are curtailed sonnets. Hopkins' critical terminology, the animating energy in art, nature and God is called instance. Ted Hu's first collection of poems is Hawk in the Rain. John Foley, the French Lieutenant's Women, Paradis Mantissa. Christopher Fry's The Ladies Not for Burning is a verse comedy. The leader of autism was Wyndham Lewis. The larger magazine of auticist writings and design called Blast was brought out by Pound and Lewis. The story of Daedalus, which Joyce uses in a portrait, was derived from Ovid's Metamorphoses. Ireland became a free state in the year 1922. Joyce's Ulysses presents a single day in the life of Leopold Bloom, Molly Bloom, and Stephen Dedalus, and that day is 16 June 1904. In the structure of Ulysses, Joyce parodies Homer. Graham Greene's Brighton Rock, The Heart of the Matter, and The Power and the Glory are regarded as Catholic trilogy. Portrait of the Artist as a Young Dog is a collection of stories. Dylan Thomas Under Milkwood is a radio play. The titles of poems in Iliad's 4 quarters are all names of places. The Waste Land is dedicated to Pound. The term stream of consciousness was introduced by William James. Orwell's 1984 was published in the year 1949. Woolf deals with the theme of sex change in Orlando. Jean Rice's White Sargasso Sea is a reconstruction of the character of Mrs. Rochester in Jane Eyre. The real name of George Orwell is Eric Blair. Orwell's column for the Weekly Tribune was called As I Please. Leonard Woolf and Virginia Woolf established a printing press called Hogarth Press. The Wasteland was first published in the Criterion and the Dial. One of the major sources of the Waste Land is Jessie L. Weston's From Ritual to Romance. The last novel of E.M. Forster is A Passage to India. Joseph Conrad's narrator Marlowe appears first in Youth. In Lord Jim, Patna is a ship. Golding's Lord of the Flies derives its storyline from O.M. Ballantyne's Coral Island. Catherine Mansfield married Middleton Murray. The Labour Party formed its first government in Britain in the year 1931. Who declared himself classist in literature, royalist in politics, and Anglo-Catholic in religion? Iliad. W.H. Auden's first published book of poems appeared in Isherwood. Auden collaborated with Louis MacNeice to write the travel book Letters from Iceland. Ted Hu's favorite subject of poetry is bird and animal life. The author of Psychoanalysis and the Unconscious and Fantasia of the Unconscious is D.H. Lawrence. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. If you are having any suggestion, let me know in the comment section. We'll see you next video. Tada, bye bye.